I go to write the sketch. I realize it's incredibly flawed. I end up pulling in Donald Trump. Why would a man be there? Why is Donald Trump there? Now I'm on a fishing boat with Donald Trump and we're pulling out Genghis Khan from the river. And then we're pulling out Judas, followed by Hitler. And then there was like the guy who mentioned renewable energy was being pulled out, and it was just like, at some point, like, you can only reach so far. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, it's 6:30. My class is at 7. It takes me 20 minutes to get to class. I'm like, I also don't watch movies or TV, so I Google most popular movies and TV. swiping through. I see Oz. Oh my god, The Wizard of Oz. Everyone and their mother knows The Wizard of Oz. I don't remember what happened in The Wizard of Oz. There's a witch, you know, and what made me think of it too, to all of today, I was listening to that whole soundtrack today to distract myself from the fact that I was so furious at someone that I'm not talking to anymore. And trying to practice forgiveness and detachment. Make a long motherfucking story short, I write a parody about The Wizard of Oz, but instead of like when she hops out the house, she actually is like charged for murder. Like she sees that like the house landed on the witch, and like Glinda, the good witch, is actually a cop. She pops out in her bubble. She hops out of her bubble holding a Glock. Her wand is a Glock. She clocks the wand. Push your fucking hands up! She's like, I didn't do anything. She gets charged for murder. They think that she murdered her. But I somehow, in my panic state, turned it into Dorothy being a meth head. She was like smoking crystal meth, and she was like, was hooked on like emeralds. She would like smoke up emeralds. I don't know. It like took a turn. I made a lot of people laugh. Was it a solid sketch? No. But if I filmed that, you would think it was funny. But it's just like, this whole other like, sketch is hard. Like, y'all, I'm watching it and I'm like, y'all fucking suck, and I'm like, wait, lowkey, this shit's hard. Why do we have to follow a structure? I hate it here. The whole point about doing funny videos is that I can do whatever the fuck I want. Now there's structure. You know, why am I writing a scripts to be funny? I just open mouth say things. So my sketch was not the deadliest catch about someone who was allergic to shellfish, and it wasn't, you know, that took a whole turn. Turns out, by the way, deadliest catch is not river monsters. Thought those were the same thing. But there's a season of river monsters called prehistoric, you know, fish, something like that. And I was like, oh my god. That's where I was like, let's pull in Hitler in this. I was like, oh my god, what if they're on a boat and they're like pulling out prehistoric things, and like we start with like fish from Finding Nemo, and it's like on the thing it has like 42 Obi-Wan Sydney, you know, like that's weird. They do the cast another line, all of a sudden they're pulling out, you know. I was thinking like, okay, maybe you don't, maybe start with the dodo bird, right? But at some point we end up pulling out Hitler, you know what I'm saying? We end up pulling out Genghis Khan, we end up pulling out Judas. And then I was like, it's a little bit too much of a jump. What if we pull out the founder of renewable energy? And that's where Donald Trump came in, because it has to be something scary. So if I'm reeling in from this river the founder of renewable energy, who would be scared of that? Donald Trump. Sketch comedy is really hard. It's so much easier for me to think like, oh, funny scenario, but to write that down and for it to fit in your rigid structure, that takes, it's beyond talent, it's practice, it's a skill. So, I am, however, really enjoying learning it. And I'm getting better. So, that's great. Happy 24.